The Washi Tape shop have sent me a new stash. There's their card. I'll put you the link for them down below as well in the video description. We've got a discount for these guys. They're basically rolls of stickers, but it's so much more than just that. So what they do is in the packaging, they put a little image to represent what's in there. And on the other end, they tell you what it is. Spring Awakening wide PET tape. Now, if you want the clear to go in your resin, it's usually this is the version you'll be looking for. Very often they'll do these on like a paper sticker as well for scrapbooking and things like that. But for in resin, it's the PET version that you want to look for. So let's have a look at what each one of these is. So that is Spring Awakening, and apparently they are pre-cut. Pre-cut? I've not had pre-cut from them before. That's a new one. What's this one called? That looks nice, doesn't it? Very holiday vibe. So that's nice. That's very much a holiday vibe. And that is called Summer Bliss. So we'll get these all out and have a look at them properly in a minute. There we are. That's better, isn't it? So this one is called Fumed Reveries. Ooh. Some of these do say pre-cut on them. Is that pre-cut? Yeah. Nice. This one is called Floral Soliloquy. Oh, nice. That would be nice for wedding stuff, wouldn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Where are we now? We've got Oceanic Breeze. Oh, I like that. I think I've got some in similar sort of colours from them already. Maybe more blue. This is like a greyish blue. It's very subtle. Beautiful. This is Ethereal Petals. Oh, look at that colour combination. That is so pretty. And look at that. That's almost autumnal, isn't it? Spring. Okay, spring bloom. Well, yeah, because it's pale pastels, I suppose. But to me, it's almost looking, because of the oranges in there, it could almost be autumnal, but I suppose they're spring flowers, aren't they? And then finally, oh, that's nice. Oh, look at that. Dreamy Merlot. Nice. Now I've got a mica powder called Merlot. I wonder if that would go nice onto that. Anyway, should we get them out and have a look? I'm going to get my little scissors and we'll take off the stickers. Now, a lot of people have said to me, gosh, they're beautiful, but aren't they expensive? I don't know how many meters is there here? It doesn't say on here. Can I just say there's an absolutely huge amount, and the quality is unbelievable. Yes, I've had cheaper washi tape, and yeah, fine, you know. But these are on a different planet, they really are. And because they are so high-end... Oh, there's the tape. Because they are so high-end, you get... they don't repeat very often. So I don't know how many different designs you get. I've never actually counted. But they just go on and on and on before they repeat. Let me show you... Let me demo this one. Obviously, we're going to be making something with these soon. That'll be later in the video, but look at that. I don't know how... Hang on, I'm just going to keep going. Butterflies. We've got butterflies coming in here. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find... That one's fairly distinctive, isn't it? Where does that repeat? It's the one with only the creamy colour. There. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 different designs before it repeats. And of course, there's all these little bits in between as well. Because if you look, every so often, you've just got odd random bits of flowers and things that you can, like there's a random flower, look. There's a random flower. And also, of course, you can cut and trim them into different... But yeah, there's all that lot before it repeats. Look at that. All that lot. Woohoo! Fantastic. You'll have seen me cutting them previously in videos. I just go around. I usually stick it down onto an old... cutting mat, you know, the sticky ones that you use with your Cricut machines and things like that, because that makes it easier to cut. And then I go around it with a rotary cutting tool, and easy peasy. In fact, we'll probably do that later. And if you just cut it just right, you'll find that you'll be able to take off just the sticker layer and leave the backing behind. So nice and easy. That's going to unravel itself now, isn't it? Now, shall we get them all out? I'll go all through them and get them out. You can either whiz forward to the bit where I do something with them, or you can watch with me while we go through them all and get them out properly. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so these really intrigue me. These are the ones that say they are pre-cut. Now, for those of you who are driven insane by fussy cutting things, this sounds amazing. So we will most definitely be trying these. In fact, I'm going to pull one off and just stick it onto this piece of card here, I think. Just so we can have a quick look at them. And then we'll be off to my craft room to do something with them all. Oh, look, aren't they adorable? Yes, they're pre-cut. I can see the edges. Oh, that's handy. So nice. Oh, look at the colours. That is so pretty. That's awesome. Never seen anything quite like this before, but that is such a brilliant solution. And they're just gorgeous. I love them. Now let's see if I can just pull off this one. Let's see how easy it is. Am I going to need like a pin or a weeding tool or something? Okay. Oh yeah, that makes life easy. That just comes straight away. Leaving the backing on. Whoa. My goodness, that was easy. And let's stick it on here. Oops. I'll find a use for this bit of card. Anyway, I'm sticking it right in the middle. That is gorgeous. Oh, I love it. Love it. Let me lift that up for you. Look at that. And even on this paper, you can barely see the edge. It's so accurately cut. I bet the production costs to these aren't much fun. Let's get the rest out and we'll have a look. Obviously, we're going to have a play with all of these over the coming week. This is like a proper tropical holiday job, this one. Which way are we going? We're going that way. Yeah, weeding tool. Also easier than scissors for getting it started. Problem I've got is that my nails are real, but they are acrylic coated to protect them. And so they're quite thick, which means that doing this sort of thing isn't easy. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Adorable. Loving that. And that's another pre-cut. That leaves us with one pre-cut one to have a look at. And then we'll go and have a play. Are they beautifully packaged, by the way? It always seems a shame to unpack them, actually. What I probably ought to do is take the name sticker off the other end and actually stick it to the inside of the roll. Okay, yeah, we have English country cottages. Oh, lovely. Okay, it's playtime. Back in a few minutes, we'll do a trinket tray and some other stuff. See you in a bit. So, let's get some use out of these beautiful washi tapes. Now, this is the one I've decided to use. And we are going to be using a little trinket tray mould because I think everybody's got one of these, and it's just such a nice, straightforward little mould to use. Now, I'm going to be doing some marbling as well. Now, this is answering a frequently asked question. People want an easy way to marble their resin. Okay, let me show you the easiest way that I know. We're going to mix up some colours. I've got a few little pots here, so let's get some different colours going. And I've picked some colours that hopefully will go well with that tape, and some silver as well. And I'm going to put a little bit in each of these pots. This resin is just Apex High Gloss. Say just, it's my favourite resin. You all know that probably, don't you? It's one I use all the time. It's my kind of go-to resin. It's 1:1, so you just put equal amounts of each into a pot and give it a good old stir. Now I've just put a bit into each of these pots, and I'm going to put some colours in. So let me show you what colours I've got. Now these are all from Just For You Online UK. That one's called Ballet Slipper, I think, if I remember rightly. So I've had these a long time. Right, I wanted a blue, because if you remember there's blues as well in that flower. So we're having a little bit of some blues. I don't panic, this isn't going to make it too dark. I'm going to put an awful lot of lighter colours as well. Yeah, one we do want some of, but only a little bit, so let's just put a tiny bit of resin in here. Is the silver floating powder. Now if you haven't seen these before, brace yourself. This stuff's incredible. I'm going to put quite a bit in, and then stir. And watch this. They do it in a lot of different metallics as well. There's sort of copper and bronze and gold. Can you see how metallic that is? Almost looks like mercury when it settles. There we are, look. See the sun hitting it? That's just crazy stuff, isn't it? You probably only need 2 or 3 really, but I'm just like to get a bit carried away. The stirrers I've been using so far, by the way, are just disposable cocktail sticks. But I say disposable cocktail stirrers. If you clean them, you can use them again and again and again and again. I buy a pack of 100 and it lasts me about a year, even though I'm resining every day. Right, this one's like got a gold shimmer to it. What's it called? I don't know what this one's called before I take the lid off. Shell. It's another colour pigment. We're also going to want some white shimmer. Let's get a very small stick to get some of this out. This is a pigment paste rather than a powder. Look at that shimmer. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, even though I want it quite intense, I'm only going to need a tiny bit because it does, yeah. With pigment pastes, there's an awful lot of pigment in them. Can you see? There you are. Isn't that lovely? Right, let's get all these stirred up. I've also got some Supreme White handy. That's nice, so that'll give us a little bit of a gold in there too. That's Ballet Slipper. That's that blue. I love this blue. It's like I just find it a very subtle blue. It's lovely. This one is called Turquoise. And it's this beautiful pale shimmery blue. Isn't that lovely? So that's our colours so far, and I've got this pot here which will be just white. And for the just white we've got the Supreme White, and again it's a paste. This one has gone, well, to be honest, it's pretty thick when I got it, but it's gone even thicker now. And I'm going to want this to be quite strong, so you only need the tiniest bit. I've probably put more than I actually need there. But look, you can see how long I've had this pot. That's why it's gone very thick. But the pigment pastes, a good one, will be very thick to start with anyway, because they say they're so heavily pigmented. So let's get this all mixed in. Now these are all sitting as well while I'm doing this, of course, which means that they are starting to warm up in the pots. It's probably starting to get, you know, it's maybe thickening a little bit. I'm going to leave them a couple of minutes still. It's very hot in my craft room today, so the resin is thinner than usual, but it will also cure quicker than usual. There you go. You can see just from that very tiny bit I got on my stick, which I don't think has even all come off, how completely opaque that is already. There we are. I might need more white than that. I've got a big pot of clear left, so we'll see what it looks like, but I've got a feeling I might need more white. But we can do that as we go along, can't we? So while these are sitting for a couple of minutes, let's have a look at what else I've got to hand to use. What I'm going to be doing is applying the colour. Where I want thin lines, I'll be using these swabs. And these are, yeah, they're just little pointy sticks with soft tips of like cotton wool around them. So I can do that without scratching the mould. I've also got some micro brushes that I might use, but also I'll be using my little stirring stick, which has got rounded edges, but I will be equally very careful with it. I might use my little spoons. Just be aware, it's very easy to scratch your mould. Now this is quite an old mould. It's been kicking around for a long time, so I hope we'll still get a nice shiny finish with it, but who knows. Yes, they're starting to thicken up. I'm going to leave them probably 10 minutes. 2 stages. We're going to be putting we're going to be making our bowl first of all. Then we're going to be applying our washi tape, and I'll show you how you can get that cut and then put in there so that you don't have any bubbles or anything like that and you can't see the edges. We'll get that in there really nicely. And then we'll put a final seal coat over the top of the washi tape to protect it. So those are our 3 steps. Right, just going to leave this a few minutes longer and we'll come back and start doing something artistic with it. It seems to be thickening a little bit now. It's been, what, half an hour? We ought to do clever things like checking temperatures and stuff, but that's too complicated for me. So, first thing I want to put in is the silver. And the reason I'm putting the silver in first is because it tends to take over. So I want to be very careful as to how much I put. I might put a bit more in afterwards, obviously, but, you know, initially I just want to be a bit careful about what I put in. And also it floats, so I want to make sure that this is down and in contact with the silicone, because I don't want to have it all float up, because of course we're looking at the back here. Initially just want to get some across the surface here, and I want it to look like veins in marble. Sorry if I go quiet, this is concentration. Not very good at concentrating. Okay, so we don't want too much either. Now let's do down into the sides a little bit. And again, just a little bit down. What I don't want is these lines just to end. It kind of feels like it needs to have a corresponding bit that goes to the outside, like so. So that the sides are a bit like coherent with the... I'm going to use a micro brush so I can put a bit more of these. I think we're going to go in with this pale gold sort of effect. And we're kind of going to run parallel to the lines I've already put in, with a little bit of a gap, like so. Could do this with a thicker, quicker cure resin, like the 2-hour demold epoxy, that sort of thing. To be thicker to start with. This might actually be easier because it would cure quicker too, which is very satisfying, isn't it? But I really like using the high gloss, so that's why I'm using that one. But yeah, whatever you fancy. The trick is just to let it thicken a little bit first so it doesn't move as much. See how that's starting to look like molten, like mercury on the surface of the mould. This is just to make sure we've got some sort of marbling actually onto the surface, really, because you know what it's like, very often the back ends up looking nicer than the front if you're not careful. Okay, this one, I'm going to go in with my little stick this time, but I am going to have to be careful not to scratch the mould, of course, but I just want to get a bit more of this, so I'm going for a more, you know, bit bigger applicator. So you see where they're starting to touch each other, they're starting to blend a little bit. That's all okay, that's fine, that's what we want. I'm going to have to be careful with the blue because it's quite a strong blue, but I have mixed it so it's a bit translucent, so hopefully it won't come through too strong. I'm trying not to actually touch the mould with my stick. I'm just hovering just above it, just in the resin, so I don't scratch the mould, because it might be a cheap mould, it might be an old mould, but you know, still want to be careful, don't you? Very little bit of this, because I think it's again quite a strong colour, and we don't want any taking over going on. I think now I am going to leave it for another 20 minutes. I just want to let that firm up a bit. So as you can see, our colours have started to blend. It's really thickened up, and I might add just a little bit more of each colour manually like this. I think it's actually looking pretty good. But what we're next going to do is just run some colours straight in, following the lines of what we've done already on the whole. But all the idea of putting that all in first was just to make sure we had definitely got some colours down onto the surface. So let's follow these now through, because this will move a lot, and the idea was to just get some colour onto there and starting to thicken up so that it wouldn't move quite so much. This is really thick now, so hopefully it won't move far, that's the idea. But we've already got a definite marbling in there. That was what I was trying to get. I hope this is making sense. You're probably thinking, why didn't you just go in and do this in the first place? It was simply to give the shape, and like I said, I wanted to get some of it, especially the silver, down onto that surface. Because as you can see, the silver's already floating up in places. This is really thickening up now. But it's taking ages to come out of the pot. I'm hoping we'll have quite a strong marbling, but the colours will end up being subtle, more subtle than they are at the moment. So this pearly white, I'm going to want this to really separate up the colours, really get in there. So wherever there's a gap, and I'm going to go over the colours as well, but wherever there's a gap, we're going to get in with our pearly white. So now our white, and I'm going to be quite liberal with this. And we're going to go diagonally a bit and all over. So silver, please some of you stay on the other side. I'm hoping that this will be quite dramatic and that the white will stay pretty much, you know, that the colours will sort of stay put. But I am going to just gently do a little bit of this through it, just to, I don't know, this may or may not be a good idea. We'll soon see. And I'm going to let that really thicken up now. So we're going to let that pretty much cure, and then I'm going to put the final coat in on the back. But we're going to let that cure up first. I will see you later when this is all cured, and we'll do our final sort of finish, and then then go in with the washi tape. Okay, it's only been about half an hour, but it's starting to firm up already. So I'm just going to take the plunge, and I'm just putting some white shimmer with a dot of actual white pigment in it as well on the back, which I think should, I mean, it might still disturb this because it isn't cured by any means. It's just kind of firming up a little bit. So let's give it a go. We'll just see what happens. See, some of it is still moving. I'm just hoping that it will stay enough and move enough to get the effect that I want. I mean, normally when we do marbling, we just let it thicken slightly and then we just pour in do it in one pour. I just wanted to see what happened if I let each layer sit for a little bit and do that bit of a thickening. We shall see. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave that to cure now, and I will see you in, I'm probably going to leave it about 8 hours. It's really warm in my craft room today. We're having one of those freakishly hot days that we occasionally have in Britain. So this is going to cure really fast. It should be an overnight job. It's not going to be. So I'll see you as soon as that's firmed up completely and we can demould it. Let's have a demould. Now, the only thing I'll say is, I think this is flash cured a bit because, see how it's wrinkled around the edges? It is exceptionally hot in my craft room. It's nearly 30 degrees in here. This probably was not the best day to be trying to do resin. Anyway, that is the bottom, so as long as the rest looks okay, we're good. And I hope leaving it that time to thicken up at different points as let it marble thoroughly. Oh, yes. Gosh, that's even better than I expected. Obviously, I've got a little bit of trimming off to do here. You know what, it seems almost a shame to put anything on that, doesn't it? A new marbling technique. Has anybody ever tried it like that? I'm really pleased with that. I would love to know if anybody's ever done marbling in that way. So, anyway, yes. Now, the thing is it going to be too much to put the flowers on? No, I think they will get lost a little bit, but I still think it's going to be nice. So, let's get our act together and pick which bit we're going to use, and we'll cut it out. This is an old cutting mat from my Cricut Joy that I don't really use very much anymore since I've got the big Cricut. What I'm looking for is a nice busy bit with lots on it. I'm still thinking that's going to be too busy and we're going to lose the flowers a bit, but anyway, we'll see what happens. So I want a bit that's got the chunkier flowers, I think, because it's ended up being so busy. So the easiest way to do this then is cut the section out that you want, roughly, like so. Put the rest back onto the roll, stick a little bit of tape on it to keep it together. I'm going to put that firmly down onto my sticky mat, because what should happen is I can fussy cut this out and then peel away the actual image. And what we're going to use to fussy cut it is one of these rotary tools. Can you see what happens? The end spins round. Now this is a bit funny when you first use it. What I quite like is that you hold it here, which means your hand isn't in the way because you're not holding where the blade is. So you can actually see what you're doing, which is good. She says, putting her glasses on. Oh, that's better. Right. And you literally just draw around it and you can be as accurate as you like. Obviously, the more accurate you are, the neater job you're going to end up with. I'll put you the link for these rotary tools down below. I wish I was on commission. I'm not. Which also means I haven't got any discount codes for you. But they're not overly expensive at all. And for me, it's been a total game changer. I've been using it for about a year now since I bought it at Makers Central. And it is absolutely brilliant. Once you've got used to the way the blade just does everything for you, because at first I spent a lot of time trying to guide it and make it wiggle around when it just does it. You don't need to. You literally just use the point and draw around. Now what's handy at this point is a weeding tool, because you should be able to just go like so. I'm trying to get the layers. That's it. There we go. So I'm just pulling up the top layer and hopefully leaving the backing behind. You have to be a bit careful because obviously by necessity it's very, very thin. So you don't want to tear it. Look at that. And as you can see, I've got very little surplus around the edges. So let's get rid of that. What you could do is just stick this straight on and put your resin over the top. However, there is a way of making sure you don't get any bubbles trapped underneath it. So let's do that. I mean, to be honest, this is so patterned, I'd probably get away with just putting that on. I'm just going to leave it face down over there. So what we're going to do is pour in a thin drizzle of the resin over the centre area where we think we're going to put our image. I say think, I'm wondering if maybe put it down to one side rather than in the middle. Maybe. What we're going to do is we're going to plop it on top of the resin, like so. Let it settle. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it to one side. I just think that would be a little bit different. And we're going to push it down. And you push it from the middle, and this is where it gets messy. You need to start in the middle and push your way out. So what you're doing is you're pushing any bubbles out. You can give it a bit of rub to make sure the resin gets under the edges well, stays under the edges well. If you want to see more on this technique, showing a sticker that will show up, or a washi tape sticker that will show up far better on the surface of the resin, then two things. One, watch on, because I'll do another one in a minute. And two, I have got a video that's very much aimed at beginners, showing several different techniques using this little trinket tray, because I say it's such a popular trinket tray mould. So what I'm doing now is just going around with a quick coating, make sure we've got a nice glossy top coat. Only do it going around the sides, by the way. This isn't compulsory. I'm only going around the sides simply because I know this mould isn't as shiny as it used to be. So I'm hoping to give it that little bit of an extra finish. So there. Yeah, so on that video that's got several different, I think it's 7 different techniques for using this mould. 7 different ideas, nice simple ones at that. I'll put you the link for that at the end of the video because it's there's a black tray, almost black, that I make in amongst that, and it does use some of these washi tapes as well. So that's all we're going to do there. I'm going to put a little bit more on. We've made sure it's under the sticker, over the sticker. I'm putting a bit more just to give it a really good glossy finish, and we're just going to leave it to cure. So watch on if you would like to see a second one. We're going to do something very simple. Okay, so I'll see you in a few hours. We're going to leave this to really thoroughly dry now, really thoroughly cure. Although I will come and check on it just to make sure that that sticker hasn't floated up or anything daft in about an hour's time. Right, I'll see you later. First one's curing up, and I have to say it's going really nicely. I shall be putting some just plain, no, it's not plain, some solid colour, just one colour, without all the marbling, all the funkiness, because I want to have a look and see just what these look like on a more plain background, and to make sure that we have got rid of any bubbles and, you know, that the pattern isn't kind of hiding it really. We have got one of my old favourites. This colour is called Red Satin. So let's pour this in, and then I will show you which washi tape I've decided on. Go for a bit of drama. So here we go. Let me just take my gloves off because it's easier to handle the washi tape without it. We're going to go for one of these, and I think either that one because it's pale so it'll show up more. There's one that's nice blues on there as well, or that very first one. I think that would look rather stunning against this. Now what we're going to get as well is we're going to get a lot of awkward edges, aren't we? Because look at the shape of that. So I've got to cut around that. Potentially we're going to end up with a lot of edges that you can see. So let's see if I can do it. Right, I'm going to just let that cure up overnight now because it's late evening, and we'll have a look at it in the morning and we'll have a go with our washi tape. See you in the morning. I brought you in really close up, as you can see, because I want you to be able to see what this crazy cutter thing's doing. I said I really ought to be on commission for these, hadn't I? So you can see how the tip swivels. So all you're doing is drawing round it. You see it swivelling? Mad, isn't it? Such a clever little thing. I can't believe how much easier this has made cutting these things out. So same process, we've just pressed down. I'm just using a spatula this time, but we've just pressed down on the sticker. Little soft silicone spatula from a cook shop. Just press down on it. Make sure that it's well under the resin, that there's no bubbles underneath it. You can see I can still move it slightly, which is good because I wanted it up kind of off centre, up against that edge. Just looks slightly off centre as if it's a mistake at the moment, doesn't it? Oh well, never mind. So I will see you for the some close-ups when we finish these. You can have a look and see if you can indeed see the edges of the stickers. And of course, if you would like to see the video that I'm going to make about those ones that are pre-cut, which sounds just too convenient for words, doesn't it? Then do subscribe, because I'll be doing that and many other projects coming up. I'm quite prolific. I put lots of videos out. And of course, subscribing is totally and utterly free. The button for that is down below the video, down here somewhere. So just click things. If you click the notification buttons as well, it will let you know when I've got a new video out. So that'd be a good thing to do, wouldn't it? And it will help me out as well, of course. So thank you. Right, I will see you for the finished products. We're going to do some proper close-ups and we can have a look and see if we've succeeded in making the edges of these stickers completely disappear for you. Okay, I'll see you later. So there we are. Huge thumbs up for these beautiful washi tapes from the Washi Tape shop. Don't forget I've got a discount code for you down below as well. I think you can see that even in the sunlight we can't see any bubbles under the sticker, any edges. Hope you like my little trays. And I'll just do a couple of close-up photos for you, and that is it for today. So I hope you like this video. If so, of course you know what to do. Just give me a thumbs up. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm going to take these out in the sun, take some photos, and of course if you'd like to subscribe, now's your chance. Press that button down below. Completely free to subscribe, of course, and then I can let you know when I've got anything new coming out. Right, I'll get some photos in the sun and we'll call this one a wrap. I'll see you for the next video. Bye everyone.